Good evening and welcome. Thank you for being here with me this evening. My name is Jen, and this is going to be an evening wind down yin, releasing the back side of the body fascia. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on the back side of the body, lengthening and strengthening the fascia tissue. So releasing our day, the upper back, middle, lower back, sides of the body and the hips, as well as the back sides of the legs. So the fascia moves all the way down into the feet, into the soles of the foot, the plantar fascia, right? So we're going to strengthen and lengthen the whole entire back side of the body this evening while calming down our nervous system. Okay, so we're going to begin here, sitting up nice and tall, connecting to the breath. So just center yourself in the body for a moment. Taking 3 big full inhales through the nose and emptying out fully on the exhalation. So inhale, exhale, empty, inhale, empty, and one more. Inhale, begin to lengthen along the spine, relaxing the shoulders. And exhale, empty and soften. Okay, so from here, we're going to go to our hands and knees and tabletop. All right, so we're just going to check in with everything a little bit before we dive right into our yin, okay, which is just holding poses longer. So we're going to check in with the spine, with the lower, middle, upper back by doing a few rounds of cat-cow, a few rounds of breathing. So inhale, we're going to drop the belly, press the mat away, lengthen through the torso, lengthen through the front side. So we're tucking the tailbone, exhale, rounding it out like a cat. Press the mat away, move the spine around. You can shift your shoulders forward, send the hips back. You can gently rock the hips from side to side, kind of arching, rounding, dropping the belly. Find your own pace here. Just inhale, exhale, move and breathe gently into the spine, into the neck and the shoulders. You want to press into the top sides of the feet and the palms. Fingers are spread wide. All right, so we're going to move into our first yin pose here, keeping this round in the spine, this arch in the back, moving into a seated forward fold, okay? So we're going to cross the feet, sit behind the feet, straighten the legs out in front of us. Make room for your sitting bones grounding here, settling them in. And then inhale, we're going to reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, we're going to hinge and fold forward, keeping a roundness in the spine as the belly draws in. So I have a couple blocks here. You're welcome to have a block. You could bring your forehead to a block here, or stacked blocks, or a bolster, a blanket, a pillow, anything you may need. So bringing your chin towards your chest, chest towards your thighs, forehead towards the knees. We don't want to force anything here. We just want to allow gravity to do what it does. So we are just melting, softening, surrendering into the pose, surrendering to gravity. So we want to soften the face, the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the torso. Be listening to the sound of the birds. We're going to be here for a whole minute and a half. So just keep breathing. Remember, we're not forcing. We are allowing. Finding a nice opening there in the upper back. Finding space in between the shoulder blades. Soften in the lower body as well. Soften in the knees. Just notice any areas that you may be just clenching or hanging on to tension. Right, so just allow everything to soften. And surrender to the pull of gravity. Pulling the chest down. Pulling the heart forward. And deepening the breath. Take a couple more big full inhalations and full exhalations. Maybe taking the audible exhalation from the mouth. The cleansing, detoxifying breath. Back out through the nose. And we will slowly rise up. We have a very talkative bird out here. And we're going to cross our feet, plant our hands out in front of us, come to our hands and knees and tabletop. And we're going to check in with one down dog. So we're going to tuck our toes, lift our hips up and back, gently pedaling out the feet, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg, shake the head yes and no from side to side, loosening and lengthening out the entire back side of the body here. Breathe a few long, good deep breaths, fluid breaths, cleansing breaths. You can find some movement, some micro movement, maybe gently pedaling out to the feet, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg, or just breathing, finding some stillness here in your downward facing dog. Awareness in the back side of the body. So our chest is going back towards the thighs. And then we're going to drop down to our knees, hands and knees tabletop, and we're going to come all the way down onto the mat. So you can bend the elbows and slowly lower down chin, chest, and heart. We're going to come forward for a locust pose. All right, so if this is too much, if locust is too much for you, you're welcome to come up here into Sphinx pose, just dropping down to the forearms out in front of you. The forearms would be shoulder width apart and just extend the spine. So it looks like this. Feeling that elongation in the spine as we are grounding down through the pelvis. All right, so so this is more so for lengthening and strengthening the spine, finding this back bend. We're going to turn it into a strengthening back bend as well here in locust pose. So we're going to keep the torso lifted and lift the arms up. So you can choose to lift the arms behind you, lifting the fingertips up, or the elbows can come up with the ears, reaching the fingertips forward, and then lifting the legs off the mat. All right, so we lift the legs, we lift the torso up, we extend the spine, we draw everything in towards that center line. Palms can face up or they can face down. Or you can bring your elbows with your ears, reaching the fingertips forward. But we want to be balancing on the pelvic bone here, on the pelvis. Lift, lengthen, strengthen. Feel the shape the spine is making. Draw the legs in towards that center line. Lift, 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 lift the upper body, lift the chest, lift the heart. Exhale, maybe find some movement here, bringing the fingertips forward. keeping the arch in the spine. Or perhaps drop down to those forearms like we were before. You can drop the legs down, lowering the arms and lowering the forearms, and stay in the back bend. We're turning this into a fascia release, yin strengthening flow. Okay, strengthening sequence. Maybe we go back to our locust pose for a few more breaths. Or stay in your Sphinx pose on the forearms. Or you could go to a full up dog if you wanted to. Or cobra pose. Just continue to extend the spine. Feel that strength all along the spine, right along the backside. Those back muscles, the sacrum, that low back, everything that wraps around there. We're strengthening the tissues of the body, the connective tissue. Last breath. So wherever you're at, we're going to press our way back up to our hands and knees and to a child's pose. So sending the hips back to the feet, forehead drops down to the mat. Keep the arms extended. Counterposing that out, lengthening through the sides of the body. So knees can open wide or knees and feet can touch. And then try to relax the shoulders. If you want to activate a little bit more, working the side bodies, you can tense the fingertips and then actively send the hips and pelvis back a little bit more. Breathing into the sides of the body. Or choose to just melt the whole upper body, chest and shoulders. We're going to stay here for 45 seconds to a minute or so. So find your expression. So you can choose to open up the knees wide if you want to. Finding this tadpole pose or wide-legged child's pose. Or keep the arms down by your sides with the knees and feet together. Continuing to surrender to gravity, not forcing, just allowing. Breathing and receiving. Receiving the openness through the body. Releasing the heaviness that we may be carrying. Just keep breathing. Allowing those hips to open up. We're going to press our way back up to hands and knees tabletop and back to our downward facing dog. But you're welcome to find some movement here, maybe in happy cow. Swing the hips from side to side, maybe moving the spine around. As we're going to go to down dog, tucking the toes, lift those hips up and back. Downward facing, continuing to find that back side of the body lengthening. Lengthening and strengthening. So maybe gently pedaling out the feet. One more time, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg. Shake that head yes and no from side to side. And we're going to come down to our seat to take a twist. So we're going to drop down to our knees, cross the feet. And we'll start here on the right side. I'll face you. So we're going to bring our right knee down to the mat. Then we're going to cross our left foot to the outside of our right knee. Okay, you can bring it in a little bit closer towards the body. And we're going to inhale, let's reach both arms up to the sky. Sternum lifts up. And then exhale, we're going to release our right hand down by the base of the spine as a second spine for support. And then we're going to inhale, exhale, we're going to gently press our left elbow to the inside of our left knee and gaze over that right shoulder. We're going to do both sides. So starting with the left elbow inside of the left knee, gently pressing that left knee kind of away from you, gazing over that right shoulder. And then lift the arms, right elbow outside of left knee. Same thing, left hand goes back by the base of the spine as our second spine, gently pressing the elbow gently kind of into that left knee or thigh, intensifying our twist, gazing over that left shoulder. So we just want to get the opening in the upper body, in that upper back, the space in between our shoulder blades, as well as we are spiraling, twisting through the spine, through our torso, massaging our internal organs and tissues. So inhale, really fill, expand. Exhale, belly in and lengthen the torso. Again, the birds are really talking. Keep twisting, keep breathing. And you can switch sides if it feels better to go to the opposite elbow inside of the knee, twisting to that side. You're welcome to take this twist on both sides, and we're going to take a little counter twist eventually. So from here, we're going to bring both hands inside of this left foot, so just facing to the right, and then try to drop our chest down towards the mat. Trying to keep the sitting bones grounding. Breathe. Exhale, empty, belly in. And then we're going to release other sides. So just simply switching sides. Left knee lowers down, crossing the right foot crosses over the left. So right foot steps to the outside of this left knee or thigh. Same thing on this side. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up, elbows up with the ears. Sternum lifts up. Find the length here through the sides of the body, through the spine. Lift the chest, the torso. Exhale, we're going to plant the left hand down by the base of the spine, right elbow inside of the left knee, opening in the upper back, the upper body, space in between the shoulder blades. A few good long deep breaths here. So the more you press into the elbow, the more that we deepen the twist and feel that spaciousness in the upper back. And then moving to the other side, right hand goes down by the base of the spine, left arm reaches up, and then left elbow to the outside of our right knee. Continuing to spiral through the spine. So we're wringing out the spine, twisting the torso, continuing to massage those internal organs and tissues, aiding in our digestion, potentially helping our sleep as well. So tall spine, we don't want to cave in. Exhale, we really want to twist the torso, gazing over that right shoulder. Find your gaze, find your drishti. You can close the eyes or gaze the tip of your nose or any point in space. Awareness in the upper body, upper back. Continue, like we're unsticking the shoulder blades here. Opening up the fascia in there. Now exhale, empty. One more breath. The ants are getting me. The birds are beautiful. The ants, I'm not sure. they like to bite out here. Counter pose, counter twist. Both hands plant inside of our right foot, twisting over to the left. Chest is going down towards the mat. Trying to keep the sitting bones down. Belly in. Exhale. Once again, gravity. Allow gravity to pull. We don't want to force ourselves down, but just kind of find equilibrium there, right? Between balance and force and strength, force and softness, force and ease. A few more breaths. Twists are also detoxifying. So we're not only stimulating, strengthening, toning, cleansing. Yes, we're releasing toxins as well. So it's good to drink plenty of water to flush everything out of the systems of the body that we are stimulating. And then we're going to release. We're just going to straighten the legs out in front of us and shake them out for a moment. And come into cow facing. So we're going to switch knees. So we'll bring our right knee down and left knee is going to stack directly on top of right knee this time rather than planting the foot. All right, we are stacking both knees out in front of us. You can bring your heels closer towards your hips or a little bit further away. Just kind of adjust yourself and do what feels right and good for you here. So this is an intensity in the hips, in that fascia that's moving through the backside, the outside, and wrapping down our quads and thighs. So just, once again, we want to find some stillness and breathe. So we can gently forward fold here, surrendering to gravity, intensifying the hip opening. Or we could bring our forehead to a block or stacked block, supporting ourselves. So you can stay right here. There is an upper body bind where we open up the chest and shoulders as well. So for the bind, the right elbow goes up towards the sky. So our right hand is reaching around for our right shoulder blade. And then the left hand drapes around by the base of the spine, reaching up for the right fingertips. Opening up the elbows wide, lifting the chest and heart. Inhale, and then exhale, we forward fold over our stacked knees here, trying to keep the elbows open wide. I'll show you what it looks like on the back side. But take your expression here. You could also have a strap or anything, a towel. You could hang onto something like you're pulling that apart to open up your elbows. You could grab onto your shirt or reach for those fingertips. Then we're folding forward. Softening the jaw, the face, the hips, the knees. Just keep breathing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Getting ready for a good night's sleep. Releasing and cleansing our day. strengthening our spine for tomorrow. They say a healthy spine equals a healthy life. So that's what we are doing. So it is. We're creating a healthy life for ourselves, healthy bodies. When you're ready to release, we're going to straighten the legs, shake them out. Switching sides. So opposite knee goes on top. So left knee goes down, right knee goes on top of left. Same thing here. Might be a little bit different on this side. You can take the upper body opening, so it would be left elbow going up, and that right hand reaching back, reaching for our shirt, bra, whatever, strap, towel, to open up the elbows, lift the chest and heart. Inhale, exhale, hinge and fold forward. Keeping the bind, or just drop down to your arms out in front of you here. Or support yourself with a prop. So I can open up, I can get the bind on one side. It's been that way for a long time. I need to try harder and do this more often. Cow facing pose. Forward fold. Elbows open wide. Surrendering to the fold. The birds and bugs flow. Evening flow. I'm just kidding. This is for the back side of the body. Strengthening and lengthening our fascia. Releasing, loosening up those long fascial lines along the back side of the body. Inhale and exhale. Empty belly in on your exhale. No place to be, nowhere to go, but right here, right now, sitting with your breath in your body. And we'll slowly release, unwind, unbind, and we're going to lower all the way down onto our back. Hugging the knees into the chest for a moment, maybe just gently dropping the knees from side to side if you want to, massaging out the base of the spine. You can draw a big circle shape here if you want. Okay, so we're going to go into plow pose, and we're going to finish up in our final resting pose. So for plow pose, or shoulder stand, so waterfall, shoulder stand, or plow. 3 options. We can just simply straighten the legs up to the sky, okay? If plow is not available for you in waterfall. Or you could sit your sitting bones up on a block. You could bring your legs against the wall. Lots of options here. and lots of benefits. Getting into an inversion, getting the feet above the heart. So for a full shoulder stand, we keep the forearms planted down on the mat. They're pressing down by our sides, pressing into the palms and into the forearms, and we gently press our way up onto the shoulders, bringing the hands to support the hips, to lift the hips up a little bit higher if you want to. So a supported shoulder stand. Okay. And then so you can stay in A, B, or C is plow pose, where we bring the feet overhead, touching the mat or the ground. Closing off the throat, stimulating our thyroid gland. Maybe the hands reach back for a bind. You can bind your big toes. Peace fingers can bind the big toes. And breathe here. Just keep breathing. There's also ear pressure pose, where you could squeeze your knees in towards the temples, the sides of the head if you wanted to. Just keep breathing, perhaps switching up your posture. Maybe you want to go into waterfall from your plow pose, or back to your shoulder stand. This is great for our nervous system, lymphatic system, circulatory system. So getting all this freshly oxygenated blood, right? We've done some deep breathing. It is flowing back down to our vital organs, tissues, and brain, helping with lymphatic drainage by reversing gravity. Our heart has to do a lot of work constantly. It never stops, right? Anyway, hopefully it doesn't stop. Anyway, so we're just kind of giving our heart a break, allowing all this blood to flow back down to our heart. So you're welcome to stay here. As I said, you can have your legs up the wall. You can go stay in your supported shoulder stand. You can do a headstand if you want to. It is your practice, truly. But I'm going to finish up here. I'm going to call out Supta Baddha Konasana. So we're just going to bring the soles of our feet together and allow our knees to drop open in this diamond shape. You can bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. Allowing the upper body to soften. Relax your neck, relax the space in between your shoulder blades, your wingspan. And then we're just softening all through the spine. Maybe thinking of one thing you are grateful for today and cultivating that gratitude in your heart center. Or just sending out some love and gratitude for this day, for this ancient practice of yoga. So once again, option to stay here or we're going to go into our final resting pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. Eventually, we bring the right foot to the right corner of the mat and the left foot to the left corner, and our arms are out by our sides with our palms facing up to the sky. So truly, truly a posture of surrender here. Knowing that you are fully supported by the earth below you. It is best to stay here for at least another 3 to 5 minutes. Once again, closing down the eyes and just listening, right? So just really tuning into what your body might be saying to you. Taking this time to hear, to be here in this present moment.